Ow, ow, ow. Hello, Annette. How are
I'm
you?
fine. How you doing, Miss Anita?
I'm blessed and highly favored.
Hi.
Hello, movers. How are you all doing tonight? You have tuned in to Can We Talk, brought to you by Movement Worldwide. We are the movement. We're a motivational organization there to educate minds, empower, nurture, and transform. We are a move meant to move. Yes, we are a move meant to move. We're helping others thrust into their purpose to live the best version of themselves and win. We've tapped into some winning information. We have some winners' resources. We're seated at the winners' table, and we invite you to take a seat right along with us. Ain't that right, Annette?
Yes, that is right. Listen now, y'all. Now we tell you every week we got room at this table now. Today we went and got us some extra chairs, so in case you bring somebody, y'all will have somewhere to sit. So thank you for sharing with us.
And as we say so often, where the table is spread, and the feast of the Lord is going on. Yes, yes, yes. I just love that saying, where the table is spread and the feast of the Lord is going on. Well, good people, you've tuned in. We have some great things lined up for you tonight. You know, we're ready to get into our conversation. But before we do so, we're going to ask that you do a few things for us, which is what I'm doing right now. I'm going to ask that number one, the video that you're watching it either on Facebook or YouTube. Those are our two platforms. So, whatever you're watching from, please, ma'am, please, sir, click that like button. Make sure you're subscribed. Make sure your notifications are set. And we ask that you please share this broadcast with someone. Share it with your family. Share it with your friends. Share it with Lottie, Dottie, and everybody. Let them know that Annette and Anita are on. They're talking. They're having a conversation. You better get here so you can hear what's going on. Come on, tell them. Reach out to them. Let them know there's still time. You have time to come get to the table. They put out some extra chairs. Come on, let's talk about it. Come on, let's talk about it. So we want to ask you to please subscribe, like, and share, and invite someone. You can share via text message. You can share it by messenger. You can DM them. You can also on Facebook, you can share it to your page. Through YouTube, you can copy that link and share it in your email. You can WhatsApp it. Send it to people all over the world. I don't care where it goes. Just send it to everybody, even if you don't know if they're a saint or an ain't. Send it to them and invite them to come and watch this broadcast. The other thing that you can do is you can sow a seed. We are a nonprofit organization, and any seed that goes into this soil, we declare that it is good seed into good soil. And we always pray that it will return to you 100-fold. So you can sow a seed via Cash App. Our Cash App is $movement worldwide. Again, $movement worldwide. Or you may want to come into covenant with us for a monthly seed. You can come into covenant with us by becoming a patron. Hmm? Oh, how do you become a patron? I'm glad you asked. You can become a patron by going to our website, movementworldwide.org. There's a red button at the top of the page that says Become a Patron. When you click that button, it will take you to patreon.com where you can set up your account and set your amount. We ask for $12 a month. That's just 40 cents a day. Come on, y'all, throw that away. 40 cents a day. Your change. Gather up your change and put it together and console that $12 a month. So you can sow a seed via becoming a patron. Click that link, set up your account, set up your amount, and some of our patrons are set it for more than we ask. But guess what? No matter what the seed, it's all greatly appreciated. But you know what's most important to us is that we got you right here looking at us. I know y'all looking. A lot of y'all don't say nothing. You be like, oh, I tuned into the movement. Oh, when y'all was talking about so and so, I'm like, well, why are you telling me? And you don't even say nothing. I don't even know that you've been on. Somebody just said that to me the other day. I'm like, wow, that's funny. So please, ma'am, please, sir, sow a seed. You can also follow us at that globe up above Annette, that globe right there. Boom, bam, 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 bam. Hit that globe everywhere you see it. When you see that acronym, the movement, that is us. We ask that you follow us on all social media platforms. The other thing you can do is email us at info@movementworldwide.org. So, without further ado, we're going to go into our conversation. We start off our conversation each and every Wednesday night with our transformational topic. Our transformational topic are idioms and phrases. We like to take idioms and phrases that just make you go, hmm, I didn't know that. I never thought about that. Really? Is that, hmm, that'll preach right there. Let me tell you, it's some stuff, it's some idioms and phrases. It's some stuff and some idioms and phrases that you would never know. You were like, wow, I never thought about it like that. So we like to take idioms and phrases and we deal with them from the Bible. We go with some practical information and we just like to share something that's life-changing, that's going to make you think about things, that's going to make you do some things differently. So those are what we call our transformational topics. So we're going to go into our transformational topic on tonight. I'm so excited about this one because it took me back, y'all. It took me back. When I was younger, I guess I'm telling my age, but I don't care. I'm 54 years old. Yes, I am. I'm 54 years old, y'all. So I'm 54 years old. And when I think about life in general as to how, things were for me, like even in high school, I'm just amazed at how, we're here by the grace of God and some of the things that we've lived through and seen and how different things were back then. But anywho, in 1984, I was in high school. In 1984, there was a box office movie released by Columbia Pictures about an ex-football player in desperate need of money. The football player links up with this shady nightclub owner and a bookie who pays him a hefty sum of money to go to Mexico to find his girlfriend. Well, the NFL player ends up going and he finds her, but he falls in love with her when he finds her. And so the bookie decided to send someone else to go and look for them. So the fate of their relationship is challenged to defy the odds that were stacked against them with this, shady guy, this mafia mob kind of guy looking for them. So that movie was entitled Against All Odds. And I used to play the song, How Can You Just Walk Away From Me? I used to sing this song all the time. Oh man. It's against the odds, and there's more than I could take. I used to play it on the piano. So I love the song Against All Odds. Well, this phrase means to do or achieve something, although there were a lot of problems, there are a lot of obstacles, there are a lot of things in your way, and you are probably likely to not succeed. But you do. We go through life every single day winning against a lot of odds. Something as simple as 1 out of 500 people die from a snake bite. We escape it. Or on the other side, the positive things, 1 out of 176 million people, out of 176 million people are my chances at winning the lottery. 1 in 176 million. But what I want to talk about tonight is the fact that you have the ability to win, even against all odds. One of the greatest examples of that is the birth of Christ. What are the odds against one little teenage girl, Mary, becoming pregnant by immaculate conception? Talk about odds. And when we think about it, the cool part about being a Christian is that we are already set up to win even against the odds, being that the situation was all put together against every odd, against every obstacle, against naysayers and people who say it couldn't possibly be done. One of the things that the angel said, and this is what I'm going to use as my scripture in that scenario, and we love to quote it from Luke 1:37, it says, "For with God, nothing will be impossible." We face odds every day, Annette. We face challenges, we face obstacles in every area of our lives. But I want to pose a question to you today. Do you really believe that you have victory against those odds?
Wow.
I mean, do you really believe it? Are you a practicing person in your belief system that you have the victory even against the odds? Mm, I know you're sitting there looking like, yeah, I do. Yeah, I do. Yeah, I do. We talk about finishing the race, finishing our course, fulfilling our destiny, moving into the things that God has planned for me. But the truth of the matter is, Annette, our legs start to wobble and knees buckle at the first sign of trouble.
Surely do. Yes, yes.
We get on that trail, and the moment that something comes our way that doesn't feel right, or doesn't look right, or doesn't smell right, we start to buckle, and then we get mad at God in the midst. But God, you said you wouldn't put more on me than I could bear. Well, obviously, you're bearing what you're going through. Why is it that we have to go through these situations with so much lip service? We give so much lip service and so much gloom and doom. Some of the most doubtful people in the world are Christians. Oh, Lord. Oh, my God. It's over now. It's over now. I'm like, why is that? You get a bad report from the doctor and you automatically go start planning your funeral. You don't even try to fight. You don't even try to pray. You just sit back and just going to wait because it's over now. It's just God's will. How you? So here we are saying that we do, but the truth of the matter is, in a lot of cases, we don't. Legs wobble, knees buckle at the sight of trouble. But I'm here to tell you tonight that you are already designed. By design, you came here with a winner's hat on your head. You exist because you chose to come on the winning side. And that is where I'm getting my word from tonight. Y'all know I like to take a word. I like to take a word of a verb dealing with our topic. And I like to deal with it from a transitive and intransitive tense. And my word tonight is to win. It's win. If we
Yes.
show up, and we put the work in, we're going to win. That's been our slogan since we started. That you show up, engage, and win. You show up to the fight. You don't hide in the trenches, and you don't go home and duck your head in the sand and hide under the covers or in the closet. No, you face it. You show up. You don't get mad because nobody's coming to your business. You show up every day. You don't get mad because nobody's showing up to your stream. You show up. When you show up and you engage, ultimately, you are going to win because that's what you are designed to do, because you are here against all odds. And that word win, the transitive tense, I like to deal with the transitive and the intransitive tense. A transitive verb needs an object to make sense. An intransitive verb makes sense without one. The word to win, the transitive tense means to obtain by work or to earn. You got to show up and engage. You got to earn this thing. Faith without works is dead. You can't just sit there and say, I believe, I have faith, and then you put nothing behind your faith. You have to put some action behind belief. And the intransitive tense means to gain the victory or to succeed. So when I'm winning, I'm working. I'm putting my hand to the plow, and I'm earning everything fair and square that God has for me. I'm getting mine because I know that ultimately, because I win, I already have the victory, and I'm going to succeed regardless of what people think, regardless of what the devil throws at me, regardless of what the dream killers and the haters and the naysayers have to say.
Come on now.
I win against all odds. You might throw some stuff in my way. You might bring up my past. You might try to scar me and assassinate my character. Or you might think or count me out because of what you see from the naked eye. But what you don't see is underneath everything that I'm doing is the hand of God guiding me. And because I stand in agreement with him against all odds, I win. And that is our transformational topic for this evening. Your thoughts, Annette?
Oh well, yeah. I was giving you a lot of amens. I was still sharing and hitting people up like, "Come on, y'all, where y'all at?" But yes, I mean, listen, like you say, show up, engage, and win. That has been from day one that we live by. We don't say it every time, but we live by that slogan that that's the only way against all odds. And we are living proof
Mm-hmm.
that we have persevered against all odds. And it's been
Amen.
4 years. So, you
Amen.
know, yeah.
We have persevered. We're still here, and we're believing God every single day for supernatural blessings because guess what? We know that by showing up and engaging, we're winners. We're winners regardless. We're
Yep.
winners because God says we are. And if He says it, that settles it. I don't care what anybody thinks about it, says about it, or try to do about it. It's just a fact. It's an immutable fact that God has designed us. By design, He has positioned us as winners.
Yeah.
We are
Yeah.
seated in the heavenly places with Christ. And therefore, because of that, we win.
Yeah.
Amen. Amen.
Amen.
And amen again. So, with that being said, winners, can we talk in that? Can we talk about it? Boom, boom. She got her mug out. Boom, boom. Can we talk? Uh huh, uh huh, uh huh. What? There you go. So right now, that was our transformational topic, and we hope that that has made you go. Hmm. We hope that it has intrigued you, made you think, giving you some insight and all that good stuff. So we're gonna pause for a moment. We'll be right back. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. You still have time to share with the family. Let them know y'all a little late trickling in, but we in here. We up
We
in
here, y'all.
we hear y'all. Come on and come on in the room. Mm, come on in the room. I ain't gonna go Medea on y'all. Jesus is my father, and he writes out all of my script. All right, y'all. So come on in the room, invite somebody. We're gonna pause for just a minute because we still have the rest of our discussion to go. But we hope the transformation of the topic has blessed you. But we're gonna change gears right now. And so while we're changing gears, go ahead and ping some more. Well, I'm saying ping like we're on Clubhouse. Go ahead and send it out to a few more people and invite them to come. And we're gonna pause for our a quote from the quoteologist herself, from Annette L. Anderson. We're gonna pause for our Annettism and we'll be right back. We'll see y'all in just about a minute, like
Yeah.
Jerome.
Life is too short to wallow in regrets. We must learn how to appreciate each and every day. If you get a chance, take it. If it changes your life, let it. If it challenges your abilities, work it. If it provides new opportunities, do it. If you know who you are, be it. If you see the hand of God moving, believe it. Life is too short to wallow in regrets. This is Annettism's Expressions. Yes, yes. Against all odds, you
Mm-hmm.
walk in whatever that God has called you to walk in. We have to know that we know. Well, now it's time for the power tool, which is one of the things I love so much. It makes me look at me. So this is not an indictment against anybody. It makes me say, wait a minute, girl, you need to get yourself together. But there are some matters and experiences that causes people to become hurt, fractured, or broken spiritually and emotionally. Sometimes it just take a conversation, just talk to somebody. Can we talk? We're here. Just a conversation to mend the brokenhearted spirit. In some cases, a band-aid won't do it. You need a power tool.
Power tool.
Well, my power tool tonight, I mean, I could have said this different, but I had a reason for saying it. Like I said, we are all really equal.
Mm.
You know, I could have asked, are we really equal? But I wanted to, and I know we see it a lot about prejudice. I know we see it, but I just want to talk about it a little bit because I got a different twist on it. I know it's easy to point at other people, which I'm going to do, but also, there's some other ways we can look at it. The prejudice is unfavorable opinion of feeling formed beforehand or without knowledge, thought, or reason. Sometimes people just don't like people because they don't like people. Any preconceived opinion or feeling, either favorable or unfavorable, unreasonable feelings, opinions, or attitudes, especially of a hostile nature regarding the ethnic, racial, social, or religious group. And so we see so much of that. We see a lot of that. And so many times I wonder, do we really address it in an open forum? I know we talk about it, we see it on social media, whatever the case may be. So there are times we tiptoe around it, but we can't avoid it. I mean, you see it in almost everything. Prejudice is still prevalent in our culture. The church tells us that all God people are created each equal, which is true. So that's why I'm saying we all are created equal. We are equal, but people are not always treated equal. But the conversation about prejudice needs to be deeper than that. We should be asking questions that how can the church create diversification in the congregation? How can we make a difference, regardless of whether it's an all white congregation, all black? Because even all churches deal with it. I've seen it on firsthand. And so my question is, what are the ways that we can build a relationship with every people, that group in our community? How, in our churches, in our community, how can we build that bridge? And I know there's so many ways that people have tried over the years, but it appears that it have gotten difficult. And how can we show people that we are all broken and in need of a savior? It's not about the color of your skin. It's not about, because if you go get blood, they don't have white blood and red blood. If you need blood, you just need blood.
Mm-hmm.
Recently, I read on social media that a woman attempted to attend a church and was told, she actually was invited, and she was told after she tried to get it there, going to church, she was told after speaking with the first person, of course, an older white guy, and he told her, well, no, you can't attend here. And then a second member, the older white lady, stated, is everyone and she asked the question, is everyone welcome here? And this is the question that she asked this other member, and she stated, we have colors here before. And she asked, what do you mean color? Do you mean black people? And her response said, no colors. When I was growing up, we always called them colors. And so the pastor came out, and I listened to him, and he did apologize. And he tried to explain in a way. He said that when she came to church, they were having Bible study. And once Bible study starts, nobody can come in, which made no sense to me, because that's when people need Bible study sometimes more than they need to be preached to. And, he apologized to the young lady and, offered her to come back. And so she said she just looked at her and left, because she was in that somebody will still say them color. I mean, it bothered her about the color, but then she said we always call them colors, as if they were, black folks as something prehistoric or something. While I do understand that we must make sure we have things in place to protect members, and downright racism is unacceptable. Of course, we got to have. Nowadays, you don't know who's coming, and if they would have said something like, "Listen, we're just." No disrespect, but if all black church now, I'm sorry to say it, but if somebody come in the church that's white, we may give them the eye, because we don't know now what people ideologies is. Are they coming in there uh, to kill? We don't know, and we've seen it so much, and we see it about every day. And so I know we like to say all lives matter, but I'm asking myself, do all lives really matter when you can address this person who was just like you? Her skin may just have a different hue. You address her like she was something that did not fall within the category that she looked at. But with all the preaching that I've heard, that 45 was a chosen one, and he was called by God, and he's the one. But it bothered me not so much that they I don't know, I say I understand why, because he addressed, they talk about him. I don't think, I mean, I think he get a bad rap in the sense that a lot of people had the same ideology. They just couldn't say it. And so now this man came and he stirred up some stuff. But it bothers me when I hear them preaching and teaching about him, but they don't teach and preach about the blatant racism that followed their Messiah. So it bothered me. I have no problem with you supporting him, because that's your choice. We live in a time where you have choice. I don't understand it, but it's their choice. But then you'll preach all this wonderful stuff, but you won't address racism. I don't hear too many. I've heard a few, but most of the time when the 45 was in office, they praised him. No, you need to deal with the other stuff, but they didn't. But now on the flip side, let's look at our predominantly African American communities. We're also prejudiced. We're prejudiced. I know when I was growing up, they were prejudiced. If your skin was lighter, you were treated a certain way, depending on your community. You know, uh, Also, we're prejudiced in our family. We look at people unfavorable. We pick certain family members. I've seen it done. I've seen prejudice in our churches. I've seen this firsthand. Certain people will preach even though they would not preach, even though they are gifted. But other people uh, was made to sit while somebody who could barely talk was up preaching. But that was due to the pastor's own isms. He had his own isms. So that was prejudice. I witnessed this firsthand at a former church I attended. They have favorite lay people, lay deacons, deaconess, and the list go on and on. Even in our Constitution, where, they like to quote their right to bear arms, but it was prejudice that slaves were considered three-fifths of a person. In other words, they were property. So we've had prejudice across the board. So we must address this in our churches. Some do. Stop pretending like it does not happen in your church, your community, your home. Stop pretending like it didn't happen. Just like you need to stop pretending that January 6th did not happen. Just because you change verbiage does not change the situation. It happened, and I will continue to say it. So we have to deal with being prejudiced across the board. We are all equal in the sight of God, but man have his own ideology of how things should be. And finally, in Proverbs 22, 1 and 2, I saw the scripture and it really jumped out at me. And it said, a good name is rather to be chosen than great riches, and love and favor rather than silver and gold. The rich and the poor meet together. The Lord is the maker of all. So regardless of who you think you are, regardless of what your belief system is, when I read my Bible, it said that we are all really equal. And so we have to deal with our isms and schism across the board. And like I say, it was easy to point at the a Republican in 45. I hate even say the man's name, but anyway, it was easy because I had my own issues with that. It was easy for us to look at that, because that way, when you look at what they did, then we don't have to look at some of the stuff that we do too, that we've done in our homes, in our communities, in our churches, how we mistreat people, how we preach on people, how we make people feel less than, how we speak negativity into the lives of people. The same man and women of God that are supposed to sow into your life and to build you up. I witnessed so much in my life that people were torn down. So we are all really equal, but society, the church, our families, our communities, and the list go on and on. Our leadership, we don't always treat people equal, and it's so easy again for us to point at what happened. But when I was putting it together, I started, just looking back, even over my maybe the last 20 years of my life. I've been saved that long, and the church, and how the pettiness, how you would get up and say things and people, amen, that's right, tell them, you better say, no, baby, no, 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 no. You need to stop saying it, because I don't amen nothing I don't agree with. And, it's just me. And I'm not going to stand with you if I think you're wrong. I'm going to say, you know what, I may be nice about it. I say, I don't know if that's right. Anita, like, Anita, I don't know, Well, Anita, now they all got it. So, Anita, I'm not going to stand, not saying that Anita said nothing wrong, because Not, I'm sure she had, but I don't remember. But my point is that we're all really equal. It's just that we got to figure out, and we got to change some of the way we think. When we have to, yeah, a lot of stuff was done wrong in this country, and we see death and chaos and craziness every day. People just being murdered just because somebody having a bad day, or just because people cuckoo for cuckoo pop, or just because people want to do it. But then on the flip side, we can look at that, but then we have to get to a place in our own personal lives that we figure out how we can become better, and how we can look at things different. How even though we don't necessarily like a situation or like a person or like what they're doing, we got to figure out how. And I say 45, but we even with that, I prayed for him more than once and call him by name. I'm just saying 45 today. But we got to learn how to take our biases, the things we don't like what they did, because what if God had turned it around and did it to us? So that's all I wanted to talk about on tonight. I don't know if that's really a power tool, but that was something that that really bothered me across the board when I look at prejudice, and I've seen it, because I've seen people, darker kid get treated a certain way. Or I've seen people do it. Oh my God! But anyway, that's it for the power tool on tonight. So
Wow. No, your question was, I don't know if that was a power tool. Oh, it absolutely was. And it's one of those that nobody really wants to talk about because it causes you to have to look on both sides. It's like, like you talked about that, when we think about being prejudiced, we always look at it from one perspective. But, we've learned, unfortunately, we have learned some values that we now actually practice in society against family members, against people who look like us, against handicapped people, against, and like you said, in
Mhm.
churches, it's about the value, about the character of your heart. So it's definitely something. But first and foremost, that main thing, because of the society that we're in right now, that is what we're experiencing. When at the end of the day, we bleed the same way.
That's right. We do.
When
We.
you laying up on the hospital table and you need units of blood, you don't know what the
You.
skin color of the person whose blood you're getting running through your veins.
Mhm. You don't,
All
and
you know is you got the same fight.
yeah. And something like this make you look at your own life, because right quick, and this is not in our stuff we're gonna talk about, but the preacher was talking about the tithing, and
Hmm.
they've been ripping him a new one. But I thought to myself, go do your own research. Wonder,
Exactly.
well, I was taught and this is the way I'm gonna be. I didn't comment on none of it. You know why? Because I did my own study.
Exactly.
Yeah, I was, a lot of things I was taught was an error. It's
Hmm.
a lot of things I've taught was an error.
Hmm.
Things I've said was an error. So we
Hmm.
all, but and they've been going on and on and on and on. I said, well, again, and don't spend so much, like somebody said, y'all just focusing on that because of money. Don't spend so much time trying to rip him. If you don't have to agree with him. What you have to do is do your own research. I don't care, and that's the problem with us too. Well,
Hmm.
I've been a Baptist all my life, and I'm a die Baptist. Well, maybe God is trying to pull you from that. I don't know. But anyway, I just want to get it.
All right. Well, hey, you never know what road we going down with this power tool. I can tell you right now, it's some, yeah, you done stirred up some conversations up in here. Up and chill. So we thank you so much for that. And that is very powerful, very thought provoking. And we appreciate you for that. So without further ado, good people, we're going to move to the next phase. We're our third phase. You still got time to invite Lottie Dottie and everybody. Don't go nowhere. We're going to pause quickly for our commercial break before we come back with my favorite topics. So we're going to come back with the ending of our show. But make sure that you invite somebody to come in for the telling, because we got some juice to share tonight. We'll be right back after the commercial break.
Walk into your God-given destiny with power and conviction with Power Walk Sunday. Each and every Sunday at 10 a.m. live on multiple platforms.
Making sure that toxic relationship we came out of don't make us bitter, but make us better. And so you're looking for somebody good out there, but you're not good yourself. So the thing about it is working within yourself. When you go into the relationship as your best and they go into the relationship as their best, then you have a great relationship.
Welcome to another amazing episode of the TMC podcast,
as we continue to help you take your relationship from surviving to thriving.
TNT, that's Tuesday Night Talk with Annette L. Anderson, every Tuesday night at 9 p.m. live on multiple platforms. Go where you can soar. That's speak it, orated, articulated, and reverberated. When we eat well, we live well, and all will be well. Go to elbewell.com, join the journey, and take your life back. If you don't have your copy, get yours today at Amazon.com. That's Living Life One Quote at a Time by Annette L. Anderson. Helping us grow spiritually together. Tired of the fluff and puff of playing church? Ready to be a powerful vessel? Ready to work the word? Join Connie Green every Tuesday at 7 p.m. on Facebook Live. And we're here every Wednesday at 7 p.m. live with Can We Talk? Your co-hosts, Annette L. Anderson and Anita Faye Wilson, with Tea Time Topics, where we discuss trending subjects and current events. You can also discuss these with your Can We Talk coffee mug. Email us at info@movementworldwide.org. They're $15, and that includes shipping. Make a donation via Cash App at $Movement Worldwide, or go to our website, click the Patreon button, and sow a seed of $12 per month. That's 40 cents a day. Whatever the seed, it's greatly appreciated. Be sure to follow us on all platforms. Click the notification button, subscribe, like, and don't forget to share. It's that time. Tea Time Topics.
Yes. It's time for Tea Time Topics. Tea Time Topics. I love Tea Time Topics. It's my favorite. My favorite. Yes, our Tea Time Topics. We got some good ones tonight. Boom!
Yes.
It is official. It's official. Ketanji Brown Jackson officially sworn in to serve as Justice on the U.S. Supreme Court. Civil rights and community leaders rejoiced as Justice Ketanji Brown Jackson was sworn in as the 116th Supreme Court Justice. She is the first Black woman and only the third Black person to ever sit on the highest court in America. Hey, I had to go down there to ever sit. Man, Jackson is also the former public defender the first former public defender to join the court, and that's crazy considering that she has defended publicly. You know, they don't even, and one lady on there hasn't even been in a courtroom.
Yeah.
The 51-year-old is the second youngest member of the court behind Justice Amy Coney Barrett, who is 50. Justice Jackson, 51, was confirmed in April when the Senate voted 53-47 on her nomination. She has replaced Justice Stephen Breyer, 83 years old, who she once clerked for. Breyer stepped down at the conclusion of the court's current term. Justice Jackson took both the constitutional oath administered by the Chief Justice John Roberts and a judicial oath administered by Justice Breyer. The brief swearing-in ceremony took place in the West Conference Room at the Supreme Court before a small gathering of Judge Jackson's family. Her husband, Patrick G. Jackson, held the Bible. It has taken 232 years and 115 prior appointments for a Black woman to be selected to serve on the Supreme Court of the United States. That is ridiculous. Jackson said in April at the White House celebration following her confirmation, "But we made it. We made it. We survived. All of us. We made it. Today, we celebrate Ketanji Brown Jackson. We applaud her. She's taking her seat on the bench. And she said it should not be lost on anyone that Justice Jackson takes her seat on the Supreme Court at a time when the court faces a crisis of legitimacy. The right-wing takeover of the Supreme Court and the recent blatantly political decisions to overturn long-established constitutional protections of abortion undermine the separation of church and state and weaken a state's right to enact common sense gun reform. It has damaged the institution. Civil rights and social justice activist Al Sharpton tweeted, "It's a monumental historic day to see a Black woman sworn into her seat on the highest court in the land, especially after the bigoted decisions recently made. But congratulations, Ketanji Brown Jackson. Your presence gives us hope for the future and a reason to vote in the present."
Yes.
We applaud her.
Yes.
It is about time. There she is being sworn in. Look at her husband looking at her. Being sworn in.
Ooh.
She's on there. It is a done deal. And they can't do nothing about it. Black girls rock. Bam! Woo! That's a good one.
Woo! I love it.
Yeah, it's about time. Long overdue, Annette.
Oh.
Long overdue. Your thoughts?
Yeah, that's why it bugs me something when I have to work on this. Oh, all lives matter. We are all equal. We are in God's sight.
Mm-hmm.
But all this time I made sure. Yeah, you made sure that certain people didn't make it there. And we don't count the other fella. You know. Anyway.
Or the one who take away all the rights for Black people.
Yeah, even though he the blackest thing that is. He the ones that they at the family barbecue. They're like, yeah, that's a black dude over there.
Mm-hmm. That's yeah. The one the one at the family barbecue that nobody wants to say that is their uncle.
Mm-hmm.
He the one that nobody wants to acknowledge. Everybody got that one.
Yeah. Yep.
All right. Yep. All right, fellas, take us to the next one.
Moving, moving, moving. We keep it moving.
Okay. Oh, okay. We they didn't have a picture of him yet, but Bert Rand Klindorfer. Oh, I did good on that. A resident of State College, Pennsylvania, has been charged with the felonious count of ethnic intimidation, one misdemeanor count each of terroristic threats, simple assault, and disorderly conduct, and one summary count of harassment after his alleged victim reported him to the town's police on Tuesday, May the 31st. This happened in May. The Black man, whose name was not released, told a State College police officer he stopped by Unimark on South Atherton Street on his way to work when he was approached by Mr. Klindorfer. In his report, the man said the 59-year-old wearing a military vest with two holstered guns began following him around the store. At one point saying, "It's pretty dangerous being black around here," as he commented. The man further observed Klindorfer also had an automatic gun that SCP later identified as a replica MP-40 submachine gun. The criminal complaint stated Klindorfer held the gun as if he were aiming at people. He is said to have waved it back and forth as he spoke about mass murders. Other witnesses said they saw and heard the same thing, and that he was mimicking as if shooting people the entire day. According to the man's filing, Mr. Klindorfer asked him if he wanted to see how his gun worked, offering to take him outside to show him. Lord have mercy. When the man declined, the gunman continued to follow him throughout the store, tapping him on his shoulder multiple times. According to police, the man was also in fear of his life and felt his life threatened due to his skin color, which it was. The president of the local chapter of NAACP, Lorraine Jones, said the community is mortified by the details of this incident. It is deeply disturbing that people with intolerance and mental health issues can access guns. She said via a pre-prepared statement. Often these incidents of ethnic intimidation go unreported due to fear of retaliation. I can't imagine how traumatic this encounter was for the victim, his family, and the store clerk who witnessed the incident. Our hearts go out to this courageous young man who refused to be intimidated and filed a police report. Our community is very fortunate that there were no casualties. She continued. Yeah, he just followed the man around the store. Why they all just about all of them look alike? Even the man that did look at him and look at the man that did the
The
kill.
man that killed the people
He got that look. But anyway, yeah, he wanted
Chicago.
he wanted to get that guy riled up.
Mm-hmm.
He wanted to.
He wanted a reason.
Yeah. But what he failed to realize, he would have been timid. He didn't know it may have been somebody else with a gun and that could have shot him dead and nothing would have happened because of what was going on in that store. He tapping the man on the shoulder. The man just walked. I said, Lord have mercy. But anyway, yeah. That disturbed me. That bothered me. Oh man.
I don't even know what to think. It's crazy. It's crazy that you follow somebody around a store and you make the comments that you do, grimacing with that look, that smirk that he got on the picture. You got that same smirk. It's ridiculous. And why, I'm like, coming here. Why does he have a high power weapon? Why does he have it? As of this point, it should be taken from him.
Oh yeah.
So that's what's wrong with the laws. But no, they're making it easier for people to continue to get guns like this. And we keep having incidents. And we're going to keep having them. And they're going to get worse.
Yeah, I'm going to tell you, when somebody knock on their door and they little Johnny and little, I don't want it to happen. But sometimes stuff have to come in your front yard for you to do something. You have a right. Well, okay, then. So they have a right and they're getting them.
And somebody screwed up little Johnny's private school.
So, okay.
Mm-hmm.
Don't
Let's
think
make mental health that. Mental health
happen. That's right. It can happen anywhere.
Ridiculous.
But anyway.
Oh, fellas, take us to the next one.
Moving. We keep it moving.
Woo, running hot, Net. Running hot. All righty. On to the next one. My goodness gracious of life. Greenwood, the digital banking platform introduced last year by co-founders, activist, rapper Michael Killer Mike Render, and Bounce TV president Ryan Glover, has raised almost $40 million in series of funding since its website launched in October 2020, according to a joint announcement last week. The burgeoning financial startup named for the Black business district in Tulsa, Oklahoma, that existed in the early 20th century before 1921 Tulsa Massacre, and earned the nickname Black Wall Street, received investments from Trust Bank, Bank of America, and JP Morgan Chase, PNC, Wells Fargo, MasterCard, Visa, and SoftBank. 6 of the 7 biggest banks, among others, on a growing list of major financial institutions now invested in Greenwood. Woo, 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 woo. The net worth of a typical white family is nearly 10 times greater than that of a Black family and 8 times greater than that of a Latino family. The wealth gap is a curable injustice, that requires collaboration, said Greenwood Chairman Glover. I am elated that many of the world's top fintech companies have invested in Greenwood and join us in this mission. The backing of 6 of the top 7 banks and 2 largest payment technology companies is a testament to the contemporary influence of Black and Latino community. We now are even better positioned to deliver world-class services to our customers that our customers deserve. Greenwood delayed its plan on January 2021 launch date because of an overwhelming demand after more than 500,000 people signed up for an account before launch. Look at God.
Wow.
Look at God. I am so excited for this movement because, that's some empowerment for you, Annette.
That's right. And
That's
it's
some empowerment
happening.
for you, and it's happening. Let me
Yeah.
tell you, just got to keep the faith, keep showing up, keep
Keep
engaging.
showing that's
We're
right.
winning. We're winning.
We're winning. A lot of times we have to keep our eye and we can't help but see it. But we got to stay focused.
Got to stay focused.
That's what it is,
Got to
y'all.
stay focused. Woo, that's a good one.
That was a good one in
Yes,
between. Something
I
not so
love
good.
it. I love it. All right, fellas, take us to the next one.
Moving, moving, moving. We keep it moving.
Okay, this is another awful story. The family of a black Connecticut man demands answers after Richard Randy Cox, 36, was paralyzed and mistreated while in police custody after hitting his head against the wall of a police van. Cox was arrested on June 19, 2022 for gun charge after New Haven police responded to a weapons complaint at a block party. Well, I won't say black party. For for his sister Latoya Boomer, she said ever since the arrest, both Cox and the family have been in a state of turmoil. Surveillance and body cam video shows Cox being arrested and placed in the back of a police van. While on the way to jail, the driver slammed on brakes, causing Cox, who was unbuckled and seated on a narrow bench at the time, to slide off the bench and hit his head against the metal wall of the van. After hitting his head against the wall, Cox cries for help. Cox pleas for help can be heard on the video clip from inside the van. Shortly after acknowledging Cox cries for help, the officers pull over to check on him. He asks Cox, "What, you fell? What happened? Can you move at all?" After checking on Cox, who remained laying down on the floor of the police van, the officers called for an ambulance to meet them at the jail. Okay, at the jail. Boomer acknowledged the officer's decision to continue to the jail rather than seeking immediate medical attention. "You drove past two hospitals to get to the jail," Boomer said, frustrated. Once at the jail, officers dragged Cox out of the van by his feet. He's practically begging for help. He said, "I think my neck is broken. I can't move." And you're going to say, "No, you just drunk." And he says, "I can't move." And you say, "We're going to drag you out of here if you can't get up," said Boomer. Cox was at jail for nearly 15 minutes before he was checked out by paramedics. All the stuff you see in the video is all the stuff that was going on. They went ahead and processed him though. I heard they were holding his neck up to take the processing pictures and all sort of crazy stuff. Did all that, and eventually he was in the ambulance that showed up, said Bowman. The whole nation was put on notice that they can't have hand restrained, handcuffed people in the back of what commonly referred as a paddy wagon, and not think there's potential for serious injuries, said Crump. Crump on the scene, okay? Boomer said Cox's mom, Doreen Coleman, was stunned to learn what happened to her son while in police custody. All the time, this man, they added to his injury.
Mm-hmm.
And why you pull that man out by his feet? Oh my God, that.
Then they were saying, I watched the video and they were saying there's nothing wrong with him. Even when they had him in the jail and they were putting him in the cell, they were like dragging him and his feet were turned in like this. His hand was like this. It was very obvious. And he kept saying, "Oh man, I can't move. I can't move nothing." And they were just dragging him and they dragged him and then just laid him on the floor. And they were laughing. It was very insensitive. And he should have been in a restraint.
Yeah.
But they didn't fasten him in. They left him back there, slammed on brakes, and he hit his head on the wall.
Mm-hmm.
It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous the way they treat people. I'm floored.
Me too.
I'm floored. From all the way down, every person that had their hand on that young man, every person that encountered him needs to be held accountable. Because none of you took the time to really see what was wrong with him. And it was obvious from the time that they dragged him out of the van that something was wrong. And they could have done more damage just by doing that. The way they were handling him and dragging him all over the precinct. And he's paralyzed from the chest down.
Mm-hmm.
Huh, baby? What's the name of the precinct? I bet my name will be on it. My name will be on it, sure enough. Ridiculous. It makes me so mad. It really does make me so mad.
Yeah.
I get so frustrated when I see stuff like this. It makes me so angry. He walked in the van, now he can't walk. He walked in, he didn't walk out. He was dragged out.
He was dragged.
Dragged like a piece of nothing, like a rag. And dragged all over the precinct like a rag. Constantly begging for help and telling them that he couldn't move. And they disregarded everything he said. There's nothing wrong with him. I heard it was a female voice. There's nothing wrong with him. And now what they saying? Now they on administrative leave. My thing is when cops do stuff like that that's on camera, don't suspend them with pay. Let them feel it without pay. Suspend their butts without pay. You paying them to stay home and to build a case. That's ridiculous. Suspend their butts without pay. Oh. Come on, fellas. Move the stuff off the stage. I'm getting angry.
Moving. We keep it moving.
It's a good story.
Yeah.
Good story. Legendary civil rights activists Fred Gray and Diane Nash are set to receive the Presidential Medal of Freedom. It already happened on July 1st. President Biden announced this year's honorees for the Presidential Medal of Freedom. This esteemed award is presented to individuals who have made notable contributions to the prosperity, peace, and security of the United States. Nash and her SNCC comrades were also prominent figures behind the Freedom Rides and the 1963 March on Washington that advocated for economic and social justice for Black Americans. Martin Luther King described the fearless leader as a driving spirit in the nonviolent assault on segregation. As an attorney, Gray helped several prominent civil rights activists land historic courtroom victories, including Claudette Colvin and Rosa Parks, who were both charged with disorderly conduct after they refused to give up their seats on a segregated bus in Montgomery in 1955. In fact, Colvin was his first client. Eventually, Gray filed a massive petition challenging... I lost my little spot. A massive petition challenging the constitutionality of the racist state law in Browder versus Gale case. Because of his hard work and diligence, in November 1956, the Supreme Court affirmed the lower court ruling that racial segregation on public transportation was unconstitutional. You better go! Stanford University noted, Martin Luther King Jr. called Gray the chief counsel for the protest movement. In 1970, Gray was elected at the Alabama State Legislature as a representative from Tuskegee. The historic election made him one of the first African-American officials to serve on the Southern state legislation since the Reconstruction era. Today, the 91-year-old lawyer, you better be still practicing law. The 91-year-old lawyer still practices law at his Tuskegee office in his hometown of Montgomery. In a statement, Gray thanked President Biden for the legendary honor. When I filed the various civil rights cases from 1955 to date, I was concerned about African Americans receiving the same constitutional rights as all other Americans, Gray added. We have made substantial progress, but the struggle from the elimination of racism and for equal justice continues. I hope this award will encourage other Americans to do what they can to complete the task so that all American citizens will be treated the same equally and fairly in accordance with the Constitution. You better be practicing law at 91.
I'm telling you. And that's something.
You better be doing it. That warms my heart so much. It really does. It really does. Yes, this is a nice one. I like that. Your thoughts on that?
Yeah, you know what? I just think it's amazing. When I said he's still, I had last week they had the other man dead, right?
Okay. Mm-hmm.
And when I said, oh man, I said, boy, that's amazing.
Yes.
That you're never too old. I mean, he could easily be in a rocking chair somewhere. But I guess he said, as long as I got my health and strength, I'm gonna keep moving. Like
Hats Woo! That's what I'm saying in that. See, that's gonna be us.
That was a good story in between all kind of foolishness.
I know, between the foolishness. Thank you for that one. All right, fellas, take us to the next one.
Moving, moving, moving. We keep it moving.
All righty. All right. We all know the story of the 14-year-old Emmett Till, the vicious white monster. This I didn't write this. Who tortured and killed him, and the racist white woman who set it all in motion. We know the white men were acquitted of the murder, and they admitted to it later, but died before either of them would ever be held accountable. Not that they likely would have been if they lived. Child, please. We also know that the Black American calling for the arrest of Carolyn Bryant Dunham, the white woman who lies and racism, got a black child brutally lynched. What we didn't know, however, is that in 1955, a warrant for Dunham's arrest was actually drawn but never served. She could have been arrested and charged in connection of Emmett's death, but America chose to be America instead. A warrant for the arrest of Carolyn Bryant Dunham, identified as Mrs. Roe Bryant on the document, was discovered last week by searchers inside a file folder that had been placed in a box. I think it says Lafayette County Circuit Court Elmer Stockstill told the Associated Press on last Wednesday. Documents are kept inside boxes by decade, he said. There was nothing else to indicate that the warrant dated August 29th, 1955, might have been. They narrowed it down between the 50s and 60s and got lucky, said Stockstill, who certified the warrant as genuine. According to the Associated Press, a team searching a Mississippi courthouse basement for new evidence regarding Emmett's lynching found the unserved warrant charging Dunham in this kidnapping, and now members of Emmett family are calling for the warrant to finally be served. Yeah, right. Arrest warrants can go stale due to the passage of time and changing circumstances. And one from 1955 also certainly wouldn't pass any muster before a court, even if the chef agreed to serve it, said Ronald J. Wycliffe, a law professor at the University of Mississippi. But combined with any evidence, the original arrest warrant absolutely could be an important stepping stone toward establishing probable cause for a new prosecution, he said. If you were in front of a judge, you could say, once upon a time, a judge determined that there was probable cause, and much more information is available today. Then there's the question of why the warrant, which also named Emmett's killer Roy Bryant and J.W. Miller, was never served at the time it was drawn. Of course, it's a question with a predictable answer. Law enforcement just didn't care about a dead black child, according to AP. The Lafayette County sheriff told reporters that he did not want to bother the woman since she had two young children to care for. So they said, well, oh well. So what if somebody else's child was dead? On Wednesday, the current Lafayette County sheriff, Ricky Banks, told AP he had no knowledge of the newly discovered warrant, but he will see if he can get a copy of the warrant and get with the DA and get their opinion on it. I'm just going to go ahead and say that Black America shouldn't hold its breath in hopes that an old white woman in her 80s will finally be brought to justice for causing Emmett Till's merciless death. But that doesn't mean we should quit calling for it. So they didn't serve it because they didn't feel like she had little children, and we couldn't bother her with that.
And a kid was murdered because she lied.
Yeah.
All because she lied. They hid that.
Yeah, they hid it.
They hid that.
They already said they didn't figure like she should be bothered, But anyway, that's. Listen, whatever done to the dog, it may have taken years later, but anyway.
Woo! Fellas, take me out of here. Y'all know y'all got to come get them. Come get them. Come get them.
Moving, moving, moving. We keep it moving.
We trying to get them off. Ned. We trying to get them off. Oh, my goodness. Wow. 4 campus spaces will be scrubbed of the name of Charles McKinnon, in a Cincinnati businessman who owned enslaved people in the 19th century. The Board of Trustees of the University of Cincinnati voted unanimously on Tuesday to remove any mention of the school's racist founder, Charles McMicken. I said McKinnon. McMicken from campus. The decision came after a years-long process spearheaded by Neville Pinto, the university's president, to investigate and begin the process of reconciling the school's relationship with McMicken, a Cincinnati businessman and owner who enslaved people, who had at least 2 children with enslaved women. Upon his death in 1858, McMicken left the land to the city for the purposes of establishing 2 colleges for the education of white boys and girls, according to the university. About a decade later, McMicken his bequest led to UC's founding. In December 2018, Pinto sent an email to the university community announcing the formation of a working group of administrators, faculty, alumni, and students to examine McMicken's legacy and the use of his name and affiliation with the university. The working group's 44-page report, released about a year later, unanimously recommended, somebody say unanimously recommended that the university discontinue using McMicken's name, scrub it, in connection with the school's College of Arts and Sciences, which has been known in part as the McMicken College of Arts and Sciences for more than a century. The decision was approved unanimously. Somebody say unanimously by the school's board of trustees in December 2019. Truth be told, McMicken's place in our history has been too tidy for too long. Pinto wrote in a message to the university community at the time, Tuesday's move goes a step further. Pinto recommended the removal of McMicken's name from the campus entirely. Particularly 4 spaces on campus, which include a hall and a cafe. Those spaces will be renamed Arts and Science Hall, Bearcats Commons, University Circle, and Bearcats Cafe. Pinto also called for the university to update its digital displays to better reflect the school's complex historical connection to McMicken's legacy. UC is one of the several higher education institutions that have made efforts in recent years to reconcile their connections to slavery and anti-Black racism. In June 2020, the University of Southern California stripped a campus building of the name of the former president, who was a prominent advocate for eugenics. And in April of this year, a report from a faculty-led committee at Harvard University recommended that the school return the remains kept in a museum of almost 20 people who were likely enslaved. Yeah, I remember that. We covered that, didn't we? Just over 8% of UC's nearly 50,000 enrolled students are African American, according to the school's website. About 67% of enrolled students are white. In a statement on Monday before the vote took place, Pinto said the charges would take effect immediately. Yes. Scrub. That's right. Scrub a dub. Get it out of here.
And this is why, Anita, that we cannot spend all our time looking at the news, because they're going to show you one thing, but they're not going to show you the whole. It looks like things are not happening. That's why, although they ain't happen, but you got to do your research. Oh, it's plenty stuff happening, and we finding it. Like, wow.
We finding it, y'all, and we bringing it to you. That's right. Clean it up. Unanimous decision.
Unanimous.
Guess what? This is for you and what you intended to leave. But guess what? We're taking over, and it's scrub a dub. Scrub a dub. Yes. That's what I'm talking about. That's right. Unanimously. All right, fellas, take us to the next one.
Moving. We keep it moving.
All right, this happened last week, but we didn't talk about it last week. So anyway, R. Kelly. You know, I saw what his name was Art, A-R-T. I don't know why I thought that.
You know what?
R. Kelly, the Grammy-winning singer and icon of the 90s pop stardom, was slapped. Ooh, they better use the words with 30 years in prison Wednesday for sexually abusing women and underage girls and boys. Oh, I didn't know that. Over the course of decades, the fallen "I Believe I Can Fly" singer did not react as U.S. District Judge Ann Donnelly issued the stiff sentence after hearing after hearing two statements. What is it? After hearing statements from 7 victims during an hours-long proceeding in Brooklyn federal court. With every addition of a new victim, you grew in wickedness, said uh, Con- Javante Cunningham, who also testified at Kelly's trial, speaking in a steady voice and staring directly at him. You use your fame and power to groom and coach underage girls and boys for your own sexual gratification. Another victim told him, "You made me do things that broke my spirit." Oh man, I literally wish I could die because of how low you made me feel. Do you remember that? She asked while turning to Kelly, who did not look up. Kelly, 55, whose full name is Robert Sylvester Kelly, was convicted on 9 charges, including racketeering and violating the Mann Act, which bars interstate transportation. I'm sorry, transportation. Oh yeah, of women and girls for immoral purposes. Wow, I ain't never heard of that law.
Mm.
I personally don't think it's enough, but I'm pleased with it. Liz Martinez, who said she was turned to a sex slave after meeting the singer at Florida Mall when she was 17, told reporters at news conference referring to the sentence. Kelly, who wore tan prison garb, dog rimmed glasses, and a mask, declined to make a statement during the hearing because of pending lawsuits. Prosecutors portrayed him as a serial predator over several decades who used his fame to exploit his victims, and asked the judge for a sentence of more than 25 years. R. Kelly used his fame, fortune, and prey, enablers to prey on the young, the vulnerable, and the voiceless for his sexual gratification, while many turned a blind eye. U.S. Attorney said Breon Peace, U.S. Attorney for the Eastern District of New York. With today's sentence, he has finally and appropriately been accountable for decades of abuse. And so, okay, Kelly is still facing charges in Minnesota of engaging in prostitution with a minor, as well as federal charges in Illinois of pornography and obstruction. His federal trial in Chicago is set to begin August 15th. He's gonna die in jail.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he's gonna die. He's gonna 30 years. It'll kill a whole lot of people, but he's gonna die. By the time he get the other, they're gonna tack it on. No, he not. He gonna be saying, "I think I can fly from prison," because he won't be. But um, you know, sometimes you get your comeuppance. I mean, things you can run, but you can't hide. I mean, it may like years, but you know. But he
It's
ain't. But
sad.
anyway,
It's
then I
sad.
they
Such
said,
talent just went.
yeah,
And you know what? A lot of heads do need to roll because there were a lot of people involved in that. They followed his lead. They brought those girls there. They
that's
hunted them
right.
down. They did all of this stuff, setting things up, working for him, putting things in place, knowing what he was doing.
That's right.
So I don't have any sympathy for them. They can get on a million documentaries because a lot of them have spoken on documentaries. Well, and this what he. Okay, well then your head needs to roll because
Yeah, you do because you just as you just as
just
guilty.
mm-hmm.
You may not, and who's to say some of them didn't participate? I don't put none past them. But at the end of the day, you know, it is what it is. He will, after a while, we won't be talking about him. That's what happened. People go to prison for a long time. Well, you know what I'm saying?
They did. They allowed him to get away with it for years. It was very well known, and no one ever did anything. Absolutely, absolutely. They never did anything, and they knew it, and it was talked about so much, and people just kept. I believe I can fly. It's a good song, though. I mean, like, you can't
Yes,
take
it
away from
is.
his talent. Gifts come without repentance.
That's right.
Gifts come without
That's
repentance. The
right.
man is gifted. The man was one of the most gifted songwriters and producers that I had ever encountered. I really admired his music. I really did. But it's so sad that I can't consciously sing his music or listen to it with the thought of what he did. I can't because every time we do that, he's making money.
Well, somebody making it.
He making it.
Yeah, but uh, when you go, he can't eat no crabs and steak no more.
Mhm.
So somebody,
He gonna be eating that slop like everybody else.
That's that right.
And get money put on his commissary voting machine.
Yeah, he get some money, but listen, I've been to them prisons. Child, you go and get stuff out of that machine.
You're right, Yolanda. He even videotaped himself urinating on a 14-year-old, and he wasn't checked. Even her family wouldn't even testify against him. Her parents, but her, I think it was a cousin or aunt or somebody who went against it. She was like, "That's wrong."
Yeah, but you know the difference between him and the other dude, the guy that killed himself. He knew. What's his name? He was the same type of person.
Man name Epstein.
Epstein. He was the same type of man, and he got away with it for years, and they knew it. Even the judge let him go in Miami. See, on a different, R. Kelly didn't kill himself, and the other dude did, but they were the same type of people.
Well,
yeah, they said, I know. Well, they swear Hillary wouldn't have had no reason to kill him. I know.
Yes, Sparkle. That's it. Yolanda knows. She know the story. Yolanda should have been our co-host tonight. She know the story. That's what I'm saying. That's exactly what it was. It was Sparkle. She wasn't with it. All right. Come on, fellas. Take us to our last one.
Moving, moving, moving. We keep it moving.
We have made it to the last one. John Chavis was an alumnus of Washington and Lee and the first African-American known to receive a college education in the United States. Whoop, 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 whoop. Born in 1763 in North Carolina, Chavis was a Revolutionary War soldier. In 1792, he began studying for the ministry at the College of New Jersey, now Princeton University. Chavis moved to Virginia in 1795 and completed his studies at Washington Academy, now Washington and Lee University. He was licensed to preach. Oh God, what was he in there? He was licensed to preach. He was licensed to preach the gospel. I said it again. He was licensed to preach the gospel. Yes, he was. All right, now he was licensed. He was licensed to preach the gospel. I'm sorry, y'all. He was licensed to preach the gospel and became a circuit riding missionary. By 1809, Chavis was settled in Raleigh, North Carolina. It's so nice he paved the way. In Raleigh, North Carolina, and in addition to preaching, had opened a school in his home where he taught both Black and white students. Let it go, including several prominent North Carolinians. He died in 1838. In 1792, he began studying ministry under Reverend John Witherspoon at the College of New Jersey. I'm a descendant because, that's my family name from way back. A deeply religious man who had been evangelized by the Presbyterian Church, Chavis intended to enter the Presbyterian ministry. The Lexington Presbytery awarded Chavis a license to preach the gospel at its meeting in Timber Ridge. Many historians and other writers describe Chavis as the most extraordinary Black man in the antebellum South. For instance, historians Charles Lee Smith focused on Chavis in a section of his 1888 circular for the U.S. Bureau of Education on the history of education in North Carolina. Referring to Chavis, Smith wrote that one of the most remarkable characters in the educational history of North Carolina was a Negro. His life finds no parallel in the South, nor, so far as the writer is aware, any part of our country. In his paper, Chavis, 1763 to 1838, a social, psychological, Washington and Lee historian Theodore C. Delaney Jr., a 1985 graduate of the university, called Chavis one of W&L's best kept secrets. In a convocation addressed in Lee Chapel in January 2001. In his address, Delaney described how, as an undergraduate, he first encountered Chavis while reading The Mind of the Old South by Clement Eaton, said Delaney. He was a prominent free man of color who had received an education at my college. And yet John Chavis, who was one of Washington and Lee's best kept secrets, no one ever talked about him. And there were no plaques or buildings commemorating him. Yet, he is important and deserves a more visible place in the history of the institution. That's what I'm talking about right there.
Yeah.
That's what I'm talking about right there. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for the contribution to our society. Thank you for paving the way, even though now while they around here naming buildings after races and then have to scrub it, dub it later, it's a whole lot that need to be done. Mm-mm-mm. But
Yep.
in the meantime, our hats go off. We applaud them, and follow what history. Yeah. Wow. Amazing story.
Yeah.
Amazing. Wow. All right. Well, that concludes our little discussion tonight, Annette.
Yeah.
I'm so glad we had this time together. I'm so glad we had this time together. But we gotta go. Love y'all so much, but we have come to the conclusion of our show on tonight. We thank you for tuning in for some inspiration, empowerment, encouragement, fun, and laughter. We have gone through our whole discussion and we're about to leave. But before we do, we ask you to do a few things for us. The video that you're watching is either on Facebook or YouTube. Please make sure you subscribe. Make sure your notifications are set. Make sure you like, thumbs up, or heart it. And make sure you click that little arrow button and share it to your page, to text, to DMs, to whatever. Share it, subscribe, like, share, and set your notifications. The other thing is please make sure you sow a seed. You can sow a seed tonight by going to your Cash App, and you can send a seed to $Movement Worldwide. Good seed into good soil. Or you can become a patron, come into covenant with us, and go to our website, movementworldwide.org. Click the red button. It'll take you to patreon.com where you can set your account and set up your amount. And we ask for $12 a month. That's 40 cents a day, but whatever the amount is greatly appreciated. And you can also follow us everywhere you see that globe. Follow us, The Movement. That's us, that acronym. Follow us on all social media platforms. You can also email us at info@movementworldwide.org. Now, let me get the rundown of what we have going on all week long. We start out of our week on Tuesday nights with Annette L. Anderson. She graces us with her presence from her organization entitled SOAR. And she graces us on Tuesday night with TNT. That's Tuesday Night Talk, where we take flight and soar. That speak, orate, articulate, and reverberate.
The 70s, 60s, and 70s.
We speak, orate, articulate. Oh, I forgot to get the backstroke. Oh, and reverberate. That's Tuesday nights at 9 p.m. live on this platform, Facebook and YouTube. Then on Wednesday nights, join us right back here for encouragement, empowerment, and all the good fun and laughter. Let your hair down, laugh a little bit with us. For Can We Talk every Wednesday night at 7 p.m. right here on this platform where we have our transformational topic. That's idioms and phrases that make you go, and that hard to have conversation and when everybody want to sweep under the rug, that's the power tool. And then we have our fun tea time topics. We go from the news, you hear about what's going on, and you hear about stuff that you will never hear about anywhere else but here. Right. We keep it light, but we keep it real with our tea time topics. That's Wednesday nights at 7. And on Friday nights, if you are not on Clubhouse, you are missing it. You need to get on Clubhouse. There is a conversation going on there that just, it just won't quit. You have got to be there. So you can download the app in your app store. That's Clubhouse, and find us in the Movers and Shakers room. If you're having a little trouble, all you have to do is bam, text the word movers. Here we go in there. Bip, 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 bip to 954-820-5050. What? 954-820-5050. What? 954-820-5050. 954-820-5050. Yes. Text the word movers to 954-820-5050 and you'll get a link right in. And then on Sundays, join us right back here on this platform, Facebook and YouTube, for Power Walk Sunday, where we inspire and motivate you to walk into your God-given destiny with power and conviction, where there is outways. Say outways, Annette.
Outways.
Where there is
ways.
There you go. But there's always a word for you. Your last words, Annette.
We want to thank everybody for joining us tonight. Just know, against all odds, you can persevere. You can overcome. whatever life throws at you, hey, listen, I've learned sometimes when life throws stuff at me, I just pick it up and throw it back because I'm determined
Hey,
to
that's a good one.
overcome the odds.
That's a
So
good one.
thank you so much. We love you. We appreciate you. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Pick it up and throw it back. Woo! Against all odds, you're going to win. You're winners. All right, good people. That's all we got for you tonight. Thank you so much again. We love you all. We'll see you the next time. We send you love. Enjoy the balance of your week. Stay safe. Stay prayerful. And we'll see y'all the next time. Bye, everybody.
Bye, everybody.
Walk into your God-given destiny with power and conviction with Power Walk Sunday. Each and every Sunday at 10 a.m. live on multiple platforms.
Making sure that toxic relationship we came out of don't make us bitter, but make us better. And so you're looking for somebody good out there, but you're not good yourself. So the thing about it is working within yourself. When you go into the relationship as your best and they go into the relationship as their best, then you have a great relationship.
Welcome to another amazing episode of the TMC podcast.
As we continue to help you take your relationship from surviving to thriving.
TNT, that's Tuesday Night Talk with Annette L. Anderson, every Tuesday night at 9 p.m. live on multiple platforms. Go where you can soar. That's Speak It, Orated, Articulated, and Reverberated. When we eat well, we live well, and all will be well. Go to elbwell.com, join the journey, and take your life back. If you don't have your copy, get yours today at Amazon.com. That's Living Life One Quote at a Time by Annette L. Anderson. Helping us grow spiritually together. Tired of the fluff and puff of playing church? Ready to be a powerful vessel? Ready to work the word? Join Connie Green every Tuesday at 7 p.m. on Facebook Live. And we're here every Wednesday at 7 p.m. live with Can We Talk? Your co-hosts, Annette L. Anderson and Anita Faye Wilson, with Tea Time Topics, where we discuss trending subjects and current events. You can also discuss these with your Can We Talk coffee mug. Email us at info@movementworldwide.org. They're $15, and that includes shipping. Make a donation via Cash App at $Movement Worldwide, or go to our website, click the Patreon button, and sow a seed of $12 per month. That's 40 cents a day. Whatever the seed, it's greatly appreciated. Be sure to follow us on all platforms. Click the notification button, subscribe, like, and don't forget to share.